my review of the 2011 Cadillac CTS-V wagon, and here's how it's going to go. Unlike every other review I've read or seen, I'm not going to cross-reference Clark Griswold, Family Truckster, or National Lampoon's Vacation. However, for you fans of me that think I look like a certain actor, here from the film is Ed the Salesman.
Now, I owe it to myself to tell you, Mr. Griswold, that if you're thinking of taking the tribe cross-country, this is the automobile you should be using, the Wagon Queen Family Truckster. You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it. See the resemblance? Forget it. Listen, I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm going to like this car. And not because of the 556 horsepower, supercharger, Brembo brakes, or Recaro seats. Because what Cadillac is doing here. The link to the CTS-V review video is in the description. And no, we're not on a racetrack drifting like Chris freaking Harris. But stay tuned to Shakedown, because by the time you're watching this, I'm ripping an F3 race car around Sears Point Infineon Raceway, thanks to SimRaceway. That show will be coming to you in a week or two. And is that my interview buddy Alan McNish leaning on my test car? He too is a SimRaceway spokesperson. But isn't he supposed to be at Spa running the World Endurance Championship race that's going on this weekend? Yes. And that's today's Shakedown topic, the WEC and this important final tune-up race before the Le Mans 24 on this mega racetrack's Spa. Audi, for the first time ever, is debuting two different new race car designs at one time, the R18 e-tron quattro hybrid and the 2012 version of the R18, the Ultra Diesel Turbo. Plus, Toyota brings their new TS030 hybrid to Spa, to photograph but not to race. Still, it makes news, and we'll explain. Plus, the P2 and GT classes are full of cool cars and more technical details. We have images to share. It's all today. There's a lot of other racing this weekend that we will cover, and we'll cover that diversity of results on Monday's Shakedown. But today, it's a one-topic show, Spa WEC, because I'm told it's better that way. Maybe it makes my messages clearer. Maybe one topic gets you guys to understand what I'm saying better. And probably it's simpler for the random YouTube viewer to understand what the video is all about and get them enticed to actually want to watch. But one topic or not, my attention deficit disorder drug prescription ran out, so I may drift off topic a bit. But stick around, we'll make it all work. Hey, is that the name of the drug I'm taking? No wonder the side effects are Nordschleife nausea, carousel cramps, green hell hives, and holy shit, this corner's blind and downhill, anal leakage. WEC, World Endurance Championship Racing. Yeah, I may claim this is a one-topic show, but I also want to comment on your comments from the April 30 Shakedown, where I asked you, has racing lost its credibility? The view count for the show sucks, but the quality of your replies warrants a respectful follow-up by me. Plus, did you see that Nissan announced they're going to build the Juke R for the street? And while Juke R is not a race car, it made me think again about your comments, the WEC, and another question for you at the end of this show. But I'm going to stay true to one topic and tie WEC, your comments, and Juke R all together. Like Chris Harris drifting 3 corners back to back. Like Alex Roy explaining how Latino lowriders, a Veyron suspension, and a Citroën SM have something in common. How Mike Spinelli can add an ADD laugh, an and the name Jenson Button into every sentence he speaks about F1. Did I lose you on that last one? Well, here we go. The World Endurance Championship. This is race 2. Race 1 was Sebring. There, Audi nailed P1, HPD Honda P2, Ferrari got GTE Pro, Porsche GTE Amateur. Remember, the ALMS race was at the same time, same track, but separate results. So BMW, for example, may have won GTE overall with that last lap fight, but really, they were in the ALMS race only. So BMW won ALMS GTE, and the Ferrari won WEC GTE. Now, after one day of Spa practice, the only part of the racing completed when we recorded this, we learned what we learned when Audi let us into their R18 e-tron and Ultra test at Sebring. We covered that on the May 23rd Shakedown show, by the way. What did we learn? The e-tron is friggin' fast. And faster than the normal P1 cars, both the R18 Ultra diesel and all the gas stuff. In P2, it's Morgan setting the pace. GTE Pro and AM, it's Porsche. But all the times are pretty close in each class. And we saw a lot of gameplay sandbagging at Sebring. So, other than Audi being in control, the rest seems to be pretty open. Some commenter with an attitude made a snark on last show that I should A, shut up, and B, show more cars. Well, with all due respect, F you on A. But here we go with B.
This is the latest Rebellion Lola Toyota, sponsored by Lotus. The team now has the new Lola B1260 chassis with the big front fenders, and it's still running the Toyota V8. So where's the Lotus part of this? Only in the paint can. And why am I still talking about Lotus? They're dead to me with these stupid marketing gigs. I just hope the Lotus check cleared the Rebellion bank. But let's speak more Toyota, because the two Rebellion gas engine P1 cars are the only Toyotas racing at Spa. The TS030 Audi fighter is not on the grid. Remember, a testing accident was claimed to have set them back. But they showed up at Spa anyway for marketing and PR purposes, and the car looks much different than when it last tested. So the crash may not have been the reason to not race. I think they needed more time to do more development to make the car more competitive. Now the car looks like an Audi. Now the rear fenders are now the same, for one example. Here's a before Spa shot of the TS030. Now look again at the new version. Notice the brake inlets here, next to the narrow nose. These tabs, aerodynamic tabs, inside and outside the front fender. The front fenders are bigger, more vertical at the front. Now they're looking like the old Lister Storm LMP of 2004, 5, and 6. One more time, Audi and Toyota. Oh, and do you see how the Toyota rear wing end plates are bigger and more aero? That's all Audi-like. But the big difference between the two is that the Toyota hybrid system is now rear drive. e-tron is front drive, making it an Audi quattro. Do you guys know if the use the hybrid power only above 120 kilometer rule applies to the Toyota? I think not, as it was just there to negate the front drive advantages because WEC rules prohibit four-wheel drive. But check me on that, please. When we interviewed Ulrich Beretsky, the Audi engine guy, he expected the TS030 Toyota to be faster than the e-tron because the rules offsets that try to equalize gas power versus diesel dominance. And even the Toyota guys talk about expecting speed. They even boast saying, quote, as long as the car doesn't break down, we can win. Now they're saying testing versus actual racing at Spa is no big deal to them. They can simulate the racing and get back on plan. Remember when Audi tried that? Not racing ALMS or in Europe before Le Mans and then expecting testing would keep them ready to win? Yeah, they watched Peugeot hoist trophies. So Toyota never gets anything wrong, right? Still, I can't wait to see the Toyota go up against Audi. 42 cars at Spa make up the grid. 10 P1, 5 GT Pro, 9 GT Amateur, and 18 P2, of which Morgan in P2 is doing just fine through the first practices. Charles Morgan, the head of the company, gave us a bit of insight into the how and why this racing is relevant to Morgan, the road car builder. Let's listen.
I think it's definitely a technical collaboration because the aerodynamics is very important to us. I mean, we knew that the GT3 car could be successful to a limited extent, but obviously it needed better aerodynamics to really succeed. What I love about this car is it's still got the sort of separate body and the separate wings. Yeah. So if we can actually work on that and bring some of this technology into the road cars a little bit, it will be fantastic.
Cool. In GT class, it's classic Ferrari versus Porsche. BMW has stepped out of WEC. They're doing their DTM thing. But Aston Martin is back running quick with this Vantage. They ran U.S. races, Sebring, Long Beach, and Laguna coming up. And the U.S. testing they did helped this new car get up to speed. Corvette has two cars running in WEC, but they are both in the GT Amateur class. No factory push in Europe for the Bowtie brand. Now, AudiTV will be carrying the Spa 6-hour online. Check the links below. And I'm sure they'll even show you the Dome S102.5 Judd, back after a few years in storage thanks to lost funding, but now in control of Henri Pescarolo. And he's taken the Dome back to Le Mans, where it was super quick the last time it ran. It's updated all around, and now with the obligatory wide front tires matching the rears. It's go time with ex-Peugeot factory pilots Sebastian Bourdais and Nicolas Minassian, taking the Dome, making it shine. Okay, WRC is our one topic. But what does that have to do with your comments from last show about if racing has lost its credibility? Well, let's see if your thoughts align with what WEC is trying to do. You said to be credible, racing should be relevant to street cars. The racing should be authentic, not rules contrived, and there should be less regulation and restrictions to let technology and talent show. I want you to comment and decide if WEC is getting that done with hybrid and diesel tech in the P1 class, production-based motors in P2, and production-based cars in GT. Now about that Juke R. While it may not be a race car, in my opinion, it's a classic example of a company willing to build and sell special stuff that aligns with their performance intentions. That Juke R is being built by race car company Ray Malek Limited is cool too. I say connecting the dots like this makes it easier to understand your comments about credibility. And more brands should do so, and more cars should be that way. Now, I'm okay that a Ferrari 458 is loaded with a race car gearbox and electronic controls. But I wish Audi would build the R8 GT as a turbo diesel V6, like their R18 Le Mans car, not with a V10 Lambo gas motor. I wish Corvette had a real paddle shift manual gearbox like the race car, not that plastic push-button automatic. Now, what road cars do you wish more exactly duplicated their race car versions? Or which ones that do exist do you like best? It's okay if you pick outside the WEC paddock because that racing credibility thing can be found or created anywhere. Later. Oh, and prayers for Senna about that whole May 1 thing. Thanks.